artificial intelligence generated images and videos and things like that. But then I realized like there's a lot of people in comments on like Instagram videos and shit like that who will be like, "Oh, that's AI," to a video that's like fucking like 15 years old. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Oh, it's just stupid people. Stupid people are still the problem."
Yeah, but we really don't know what's real. We have to maintain our critical thinking skills and question everything. I mean, honestly, we're in a period of time where you really do have to use your own intelligence and make your best judgment and guess. Because a lot of times it is a guess. I mean, you could hear about some science research on some food product, and unless you have the testing capabilities to test that water out,
what is that?
You really don't know. So now you have to like look at it and go,
years ago, he was the editor-in-chief.
What else can I find about this? Is there anything else, or is it just this one story from this one place? No one else is reporting it. It's not coming from any, where's the research here? Like, you really have to do your homework now.
Well, there's also an entire generation of people who grew up using the internet as like the main means by which they interface with like the world, So it's like to the point that Mike was making. Like he's like, I used to love reading encyclopedias and stuff like that when I was a kid, because it was like the information was highly curated, and it was coming from a place that was like very scientifically founded, but these days it's just like this whole generation of couple now actually of people who are just being exposed to like this cesspool of just like this soup of just information that is the internet. That's just like, how do they even like, that's got to be like insanity inducing, I would think, to have never had any simple, understanding of, I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say at this point. Like, I can't really think or articulate what I was.
I think in my mind, one of the biggest problems is we are not using our critical thinking skills to discern whose opinion is more important than someone else's opinion. We're no longer respecting experts. We're no longer respecting, time and service. 30,000 hours of discipline studying something doesn't matter anymore if we can just find something that contradicts that on the internet and we feel like that's more important. I hear people saying all the time, you'll quote an authority of something and they'll say, "Oh, that's a fallacy. You ever heard the fallacy, appeal to authority fallacy?" Well, I finally just looked it up. It's the how can me believing a doctor's opinion, yes, your stupid fucking opinion, that I would trust a doctor's opinion more than yours, Joe Schmo, right? And so I looked it up, and appealed authority, it's a fallacy that occurs when someone cites an authority figure to support an argument. God, it's so fucking frustrating. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so can everyone hear me? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're clear now.
Okay, so appeal to authority fallacy. It's a fallacy to appeal to authority under certain circumstances. This doesn't mean it's a fallacy to appear to any authority. It's a fallacy to appear. It occurs when someone cites an authority figure to support an argument without considering whether the authority is actually an expert in the specific field or if the authority is biased. So those are two reasons to consider that appealing to an authority could be a fallacy. However, the biased one is really easy for someone to claim. Like, if they don't agree with you, you just claim they're biased, and now it's an appeal to authority. But the reality is, if you're saying that 9 out of 10 doctors say the vaccine is generally safer than it is dangerous, then believing 9 out of 10 doctors is not an appeal to authority fallacy. Because 9 out of 10 doctors represent a group of people that are experts. And if they're biased from like a high level. Like you're talking about and if that's the case, then we're all fucked anyway. Like you can say that. You can say that, like, I don't know, you're hearing about pharmaceuticals from somebody in the pharmaceutical industry, and they've been in the industry a long time, and it's appeal to authority because they are biased. Well, if you're talking about the family that pushed OxyContin on the entire world. Well, yes, for sure. That's a good example of if you are appealing to them to say OxyContin is good because they say it is and they create it, they are biased. They have an agenda and they're making money off of it. But 9 out of 10 doctors who swear to take care of people and to uphold life as a valuable thing, things like that, they're probably not grouping together to hurt us. So I just want people to think harder about what is an appeal to authority fallacy and what is an appeal to authority common sense good idea. Because if you're arguing flat earth with an astronaut, you're a fucking idiot. It's not an appeal to authority fallacy. And so I just feel like that's where we're losing track is the difference between that. And then we throw out these words like appeal to authority. And then eventually you hear it so many times, so when you hear it, you ignore it, you bypass it. You don't even consider that what you're being told is true. It's kind of like gaslighting. Like the word was used so fucking much now. And if somebody's really gaslighting and you call them out on it, everybody goes, oh God. And it's like, but guys, you're ignoring it's actually happened.
Or changing definitions. How about the changing of definitions?
Yeah, that too. So it's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, guys. Like, if you're being gaslit, you need to fucking know what it means. You need to be able to identify when it's really happening and when people are saying it's happening and it's not. Don't just get so annoyed because you have short-term memory and you're tired of hearing the word used. You know what I mean? Like, these are things I see happening, and it drives me crazy because basically all of it represents a lack of critical thinking. That's what it represents.
Or annual and semi-annual vaccine therapies.
Well, if you think about it, though, Mike, like critical thinking skills are sometimes, pretty much always something that you have to kind of develop over time after, being exposed to false information enough times that it causes you to kind of like start to appeal more to your own judgment, you know what I mean, of a situation and your own discernment. Then whatever, because there's a ton of fucking misleading information out there, man. People who are who actively profiting as a way of engagement generation for their posts. They'll post shit that's intentionally misleading and false, just because it triggers within certain people's minds the need to want to jump into the comments and correct the information, right? Now you fucking created a conversation in the comments, right? So people are constantly being exposed to all this fucking information, and you want to throw fucking AI into the mix. Now shit's getting really confusing, So in a way, the current landscape of the internet, do you think that it's possible that is kind of has the potential to create people or to catalyze people developing better critical thinking skills?
You mean to? I don't know you meant by that word, but you mean
this kind of emergence or this kind of collective awakening of people's critical thinking